Hi Scorpio, welcome to your May 2022 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of May 2022, right, you have the Ten of Wands. Interesting, because Libra had this same card in this same position, and what I said to them was it was about really becoming a more authentic version of themselves. I think if Scorpio got any more authentic, we'd be seeing you in your undies. So maybe we'll hold off on that. All jokes aside though, this Ten of Wands, I think this is going to be a month where actually unshackling yourself from a drowning ship. And it's really strange because the feeling that I get from this, it's like there's something that you've been attached to or tied to that you can see as kind of flailing, is maybe failing, and it's like you're looking at it and you're like, I've done everything that I can here. I'm not going to be able to give any more. And so for that reason, because it's still sort of heading south, after all the time, effort and energy that I've put into it, I am not going to allow myself to be pulled down with whatever this thing, person, situation, organization, whatever it might be. It's like this month you're saying to yourself, you know what, the shackles of this connection or this path or this past even no longer gets to be a part of my present and is definitely not going to be a part of my future. If anything, this is about you freeing yourself up. And I kind of feel like in a lot of ways, it's like you've done what you can with something. You really have given your best. So now it's like, you know what? No, I've done it. I've given what I can. It's over. For your communications and conversations, you have the Queen of Cups. So in some way, shape or form, you know, whether you're a man or a woman or however you identify, you show up in your reading. Because the Queen of Cups can be a water sign woman, you know, a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. I was going to say Gemini for a second. The fact that you have the Queen of Cups in your communications, I would say, even if you are unshackling yourself from a floundering ship, let's say, I would still do find a way to be tactful, diplomatic, you know, careful with other people's feelings. This may also be a time at which you are so deeply what's the word that I'm looking for? It might be a time at which you're so deeply sort of enmeshed in this new path that is taking you forward that it's like, you know what, all I want to do is nurture and nourish this new future path or this new future self that is now emerging. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no, you know, shame or blame in it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I just want you to be aware that you might be called upon, or maybe somebody might try to call you out for being self-centered, or it's like, oh, you know, you're only thinking of yourself, you know, what about me? Or and quite frankly, you know, nobody really has the right to do that. If we're focusing on ourselves, there's times in life where we focus on others, there's times in life when we focus on ourselves. This is one of those times where you get to focus on yourself. And if anyone's got a problem with it, i.e. a mother, an aunt or a sister, you have to walk a path that is really true to you. All right, so cut yourself some slack and give yourself a break. When it comes to your love and relations, you've got the Seven of Swords. Be careful with an emotional manipulation this month. I don't feel like this is a lie. I feel like it's a play that somebody may run. Because you've got the Queen of Cups in the communication sector, this could be a mother, a sister, an aunt, or an important or prominent woman in your life. This is the sort of thing that people do when they sow seeds of doubt. You know, when you declare to your circle, like, oh, you know, I started counseling to quit smoking, or I've tried to, you know, I'm doing this to do whatever. And, you know, that first person that says, oh, but what if it doesn't work? That's sowing seeds of doubt. It's the sort of person that tries to kill your dreams before they've even gone anywhere. Watch out for this month. And I would say to you, when that arises, I mean, you guys are Scorpio, so I can swear, I can talk about the hard stuff, and I can say nip it in the fucking bud when it comes up, right? If someone tries to sow seeds of doubt on your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your goals that you are just setting into motion, call them out on it. It's the easiest and it's the best way to take that energy back out of the situation. Because the second that person says, oh, what if it doesn't work? They're taking a portion of the energy that you're going to use to grow your dream. So at that point, you're invited to say, well, actually, that's not really helping me, is it? Right? So take your energy back. The second this shit comes up, stamp it out. That being said, back to my Zen place and, you know, peace, love and light and prosperity. My friend always says that to me when I go on a rant. He's like, and we're back to the love, light, peace. And it's like, hey, yeah, I'm spiritual. Yes, I like to present those things to the world because I don't think there's enough of them. But make no mistake, sometimes the most spiritual thing we can do is tell someone to fuck off. All right, okay, all of us are self-preservational beings to a point, and so at some point we have to really fight for what we want and what we believe. That's self-explanatory to me. For those of you that are single, if you are getting involved with someone, watch out for emotional manipulation. If you see any of that in any way, shape or form, and I gotta say I feel like there might be, again, cut it. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this may be somebody that tries to encroach on the relationship, because if you're in a partnership, you're not on your own. And so you're not as shakeable as you are when you're on your own, right? So watch out for this, because I feel like it might be an emotional manipulation from a family member. It's like a play of some sort that someone's trying to put out. For your money and materials, you've got the Temperance card, but you've got this next to the Seven of Swords. So money, finances and resources, don't mix them with family. There could be family drama around money, finances and resources this month. And some of you, it's like by making whatever decision you're making this month, you're quite clearly demonstrating where a path or an avenue that somebody else uses to tap into your wallet is being firmly shut down. And you know, when someone's being wounded in that way, they might fight tooth and nail to keep it. Now, on a more personal level, when it comes to your finances, the Temperance card is great because you're starting to align with what you really want to do in order to make your money. Your first week of the month, you've got the Sun card. I love this, right? This really is you liberating yourself from something, and it's like it has no more power anymore to hold you back or to hold you down. I kind of feel like this is going to be a month, especially interesting because we've got this full moon lunar eclipse, which is highlighting you to the nth degree, right? I feel like in a lot of ways, while there might be some crisis points here and some big revelations, quite possibly, you may have some moments where you're like, I feel like I'm just getting lighter and lighter, and this is great, right? Like Scorpio's been on this really long journey for a long time, and it's just really nice to see. For your second week of the month, you've got the Strength card. So your physical health and vitality are taking an upswing here in the second week of the month. This may be a challenging conversation that needs to be had when you're sharing something, and it might be one of those moments where you have to, you know, nip something in the bud. For your third week of the month, you've got the High Priestess. The High Priestess coupled with the Seven of Swords, that's a big deception. Watch out for this around the third week of the month. I'm sorry to say it, and I wish I could say like, oh, you know, it'll be wonderful. That's either a big revelation of a secret of some sort. It could be where you realize something or something is divulged to you. And I'm going to say this, whoever is giving you this information, like usually when someone comes to you and says like, and I talk about this for myself, I'll put it in that context because I don't want to speak for anybody else. But for me personally, if someone came to me and gave me a big secret or they divulged something to me, one of my first questions, aside from, okay, how do I deal with this, is going to be, why is it you're only just coming to me with this now? And usually most people will make all kinds of excuses of, oh, you know, I didn't know what to say, and but you've known this from time. And if you feel to tell me now what's changed between all of this time that I didn't know, that's one of the first things that I would ask. But I'm going to say this: there's something about this person who's coming to you to divulge this piece of information, or if it's a secret or a revelation that comes through another person and they come to tell you, this person was genuinely in distress about this. That's the feeling that I get from it. Outside of that, it will be interesting to see how it shows up. For your 4th week of the month, you have the Chariot card. No weapon shall prosper, darling. None. Okay, so don't worry about that. Whatever it is that's revealed, it will have much better further much better further benefits and reaches for you personally. You've got the Chariot card underneath the Temperance card. This bodes very well for your money. It does have an element of a change of home, location, and possibly even country for some of you. Very, very interesting. And I'm intrigued to see how this will show up or how it will play out. So as we get into the moons, on the 16th of May, we have the full moon in the sign of Scorpio. This is in your 1st house. For those of you that are ascendant Scorpios, to a lesser degree, the sun and the moon, but still relevant. This is happening in your sign. So it's highlighting you. It's putting you in a spotlight. Now, with eclipses, they are kind of, well, not even kind of, they are malefic energies. But your sign, if there were ever a malefic sign, I would say it would be Scorpio. But I don't necessarily use that term to equate to evil, bad, and all the rest of it. If you've been with me long enough, you know, I always say that the thing with Scorpio energy, especially people that carry like prominent Scorpio energy in their chart, that is the place in your chart or in your life that you were born already enlightened. It's one of the reasons you can walk such a dark path without being such a dark person. And I know that a lot of people are probably like, wait, you lost me. And I hope I haven't, but you guys tend to be quite deep, so I can go here with you. I believe that Scorpios come into this life already enlightened, and it's one of the reasons that you're able to dabble in all of those things, because it's not like it's all of who you are. It's just a thread or a strand of human existence. That being said, this is highlighting you, and I kind of feel like even though the eclipse is a malefic energy, it's still highlighting to you where a reboot, a reset is needed to happen. And this will be a moment at which you are able to shed something in a very big, profound way. Your full moon message is the gate 58 and joy. And right, although that's in the 1st week, I definitely feel like it speaks to this. What more can I say? Joy. This full moon is going to show you where to unshackle yourself from something that is no longer good for you. For your 2nd moon, which is the full moon, which is the new moon, on the 30th in the sign of Gemini, which for you is in your 8th house, you have the gate 17 and opinions. This new moon is going to show you where you may or may not have allowed somebody or a group of somebody's opinions and thoughts to really, it's like you've been for a long time reflecting other people's stuff. And now you're going to start to emit your own frequency, right? It's like the difference between the sun and the moon. The sun has its own light and generates its own light. The moon is a reflection of that light. This new moon in the 8th house is going to show you how to emit your own light. So you're becoming more solar in effect rather than lunar. I hope that makes sense. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a very conscious and diligent month, my dear Scorpios. Take care, and I'll see you soon.